Hi everyone, it's Stacy Gordon here, and this is the second of 4 live shows that we're going to do, and really it's just me answering questions. I have been trying to do this for over a year, if you can believe that, and for those of you who have had something you have wanted to do for a really long time and you have said, as soon as I finish that other thing, I will get to this. That's what this has been like for me. For all of 2017, I have said, I'm going to bring you answers to the questions that I always get, and I haven't done it. It has been really tough to get it done. And so I'm here, I pledged, I said I was going to put dates on the calendar and I would make it happen. So today we're talking about interviews. One of the questions I always get, I actually wrote a couple of blogs on this. If you go to my blog page, website is reworkwork.com, and you'll see that we have great blogs there and career advice. One of the things I'm always asked is, what is it that I need to do to get the job? Because I get the interview, but I'm not getting the job. So I feel like they're always the bridesmaid and never the bride. And I totally get that. The number one thing that I've always said, and I really, really deep down believe this, is confidence. Confidence is what you need. And how do you get there? So I will do a quick shameless plug, okay? Interview book. If you have not purchased my book on Amazon, you might want to do that. It's called The Successful Interviews, 99 Questions to Ask and Answer, and Some You Shouldn't. And what I do in that book is I do not expect you to read the entire thing, but it is a quick read, and you could read the entire thing if you want to. But spoiler alert, the main reason I wrote this book and the main purpose of it is to answer the question of, what is the one thing that an interviewer wants to know from you when you are sitting across the table from them? When you have that job that you can just see, you can taste it, you're like, I know this is the job for me. And you cannot seem to figure out, what do I have to say to get it? So if that's what you've been thinking, you're already going about it kind of from the wrong point of view. And here's why. Because you don't want to be thinking about what do you have to say to get it. You want to be thinking about, what is it about me that makes sense for this job, right? It's one of the reasons that the other interview question people hate to answer is, tell me about yourself. It's so hard, right? It's really hard to answer the tell me about myself question, because a lot of times we don't really know who we are. I can't tell you about me if I don't know who me is, right? And so a lot of times you're going after these jobs and you think that that's the right job for you, you think that that's the thing you should be doing, but you really haven't spent time figuring out if you are the right fit for that job. So everything that I pull together from my book to the blogs, the coaching advice, is I tell people, look, you really have to know, is this the job for you? So you've got to start by doing a little bit of work. I know, it sucks. The whole job search process is a mess, right? But you can definitely do this. What it takes is figuring out, first of all, does this job make sense for me? And if it does, then what's my story? When you know what your story is, you can answer the tell me about yourself question so easily. You can walk into that job interview having confidence because you would have prepared. You would have prepared for every single potential answer because you always can relate it back to you and your applicability for the job. And when you know what that is, it doesn't matter what question they ask you, doesn't matter what form they ask it in, doesn't matter how many times they ask you. You will always be ready to answer the question with confidence because you've done your homework and you know this is a job for you. So if you find yourself in that situation where you are constantly going on job interviews and you're not getting the job, there's a couple of different things. Either you're not prepared, or this is not the job for you and you don't know it yet because you haven't figured out who you is. So I hope this was really helpful. I'm compiling my list of CareerQs, so over time we'll have a library of these. And if you liked what you heard today, tell a friend.